Hello everybody, it is still Monday, the 5th of May. I'm back at the Kabbalistic Tree of Life because this morning I watched a video that was posted by Spirit Grow. Now they posted, I think, 4 videos about the Sephiroths, and I will leave the links for those videos in the description box because they were extremely good. And I think I shall watch them myself again a few times. But a lot of things just fell into place for me today. And it was through the last video where he was discussing Hood. And he was talking of Hood as humility. And I've never heard, and talking about the ego in Hood. And I've never heard Hood spoken of in that way, with the aspect of humility and in connection with the ego. And when I heard that this morning, an awful lot fell into place for me. And I want to share this with you now, the understanding that came to me today. So, if you look at the tree of life and you see here Yesod is the foundation, which it is strange because you're going through a process that is starting with Keter, and you're going through all the Sephiroth, and you're coming to a point that is called the foundation, which is an outcome, not the beginning. And then the foundation gives to Malchut. Which is this world. This world is the kingdom. And it is the kingdom that Jesus spoke about. It is this world. It's manifesting in this world. So to me, I was thinking today, it was a bit like a garden shed. Building a garden shed. You could make a plan. You think about what it should serve, what material it should be made out of, what size it should be, and then you get all your stuff together, the wood that you need, the hinges, the nails, the hammer, the other tools. And at that moment, when you have it all together, you are stood in your suit, and you're kind of ready to manifest the garden shed, so to speak, make it a reality. Or you could build the garden shed Neville Goddard way, whereas you get yourself a load of planks and some tools and some nails, and then you let your beautiful imagination run away with you. I'm sure you can build something that way, but whether it will be functional or whether it will even stand up, that's a different question. So this is my way. I'm going this way. Now, again, he was talking about Hood, he was talking about the ego, and he was talking about humility, When I looked at the tree before and going down the right-hand side, or what it looks like the left-hand side because you're looking at a mirror image, but the right-hand side of the tree, the feminine, the rational mind. And then to me, what I thought manifested as Hood in this world, the manifestation of Hood was technology, which is really the rational mind going its own way, according to its own understanding. It's a 5 sense understanding, and what it can create is technology. Now, and I thought that what Jesus did, in his miracles, which was on a level of, quite clearly, on a level of energy and vibration. When he performed a miracle, that was energy healing. And it looked to people like a miracle because if you can change the energy, let's say in a leg, and then the moment the energy is changed, people around would read that energy as a healed leg, and it would happen pretty much in an instant. And if you don't understand what is happening, it would look like a miracle. So he was definitely on that level. But I thought the understanding of that came from the other side, from the emotional knowing. But just the way that he described Hood today in that video became clear to me. It is actually of the rational side, and it is something that is happening on the rational side. So how this tree works then is the rational side, the woman that bites into the apple and has a thought or a desire and gives that apple to her husband, yeah? So to the emotional knowing. Now the emotional knowing looks at this in a different way because it is the knowledge of connectivity. So if you have empathy, you're emotionally attached to people and things around you, then your emotional side would consider the impact of your desire on everything else around you, not just you. And in that it is the greater knowledge, because it considers more than just yourself. Yeah. So then if you have a desire and you listen to your emotions and you get the feeling that's not a good idea, then listen to your emotions. That is how the machinery works. That is how that's what it's there for. Don't overcome your emotions. They're trying to tell you something. So I don't say throw out the idea or the desire, but go back to the drawing board. And quite often with the rejection of your desire also comes the answer why. You know, it might give you an image, or it might remind you of another person somewhere, and you think, oh, I had not considered him in what I was thinking. Yeah, so it gives the knowledge to you, not only the rejection, but if you listen carefully, then it will also give you the image of why it is rejecting, what it is you should be thinking about. So that is how this tree works. So, but coming down, and then in the end, because if you look at the bottom, yeah, you've got Hood, which is the image of your desire. You've got Netzach, which is the emotional energy. It should have gone through Tiferet, balance. They come into agreement, yeah, and then it forms the foundation. That is the moment when you're ready to manifest. Either do or manifest on a different level. What it is you want to achieve. Yeah? So, the way he described Hood today and why there was such a shift in my thinking and my understanding is, as I said, he talked about the ego in humility in Hood. And to me, humility, it's a sliding scale. You're either pride or humility. You know, they are the two sides, the two outer edges. And pride is a bad word because it has got a bad incantation it shouldn't have. It is functional. Sometimes pride is functional. It depends on what it is you want to do. Yeah? But if the ego goes into humility, that means the fifth sense, knowing, admits it needs more than it knows. So if it goes to the side, it leaves a space, an empty space in Hood. So your cup is starting to empty a bit, and there's space for something else to come in. A knowledge that is not derived by the five senses. Yeah? So if Hood is standing on pride, that is to say the five sense knowledge goes by its own knowing. But if it goes into humility, means it leaves room for something else to come in. A different understanding. Now, as we are at the moment, because science is already going, the way of understanding this level of energy. So it's not that big a jump anymore. Because if Hood goes, if the ego goes into humility and it needs to let something else in, that is not according to itself. That's not its natural environment. It lives in the five senses. It needs to accept something that it doesn't really know. Although we can accept it easier now, because science is already going that way. When Jesus was about, and the fishermen, for them, it was imagination. Yeah, and they had to make a big jump to accept that. But that is what's happening. That is what you need to do for the ego. Don't throw the ego out completely. It needs to be there. But it needs to go to the side a bit to allow a knowledge in that is not derived by its own five senses. And it needs to accept that knowledge as real. It needs to know it as real. And then you can start the process of bringing this new knowing in Hood together with your emotional energy that needs to carry your desire to the field. And then you're in your Sud and you can start to manifest. Even in the entire tree, when you think about it, and it's actually not wrong for the rational mind to go its own way. Yeah, it should consult whether the idea is good to start with, but it can go its own way, and it can come up with its own solution. And if the solution is good enough, and if it will do the works, no problem. It is when you need more than that. Yeah? When you need to go a little bit far out for a solution, because your rational mind, what it can come up with just won't do the job. That's when you do that. Now, the guy himself that made the video that I'm leaving a link for, he warns about the danger of being in the humility setting all the time. It is destructive. Listen to it in the video, and it is what I said, it is what took Jesus to the cross. Being in that setting all the time took him to, it's self-destructive in the end. So this is, let's say, for emergency use only. Yeah, it is there for when you need more than what you could usually do. The other thing is that in the five senses, when you are what they say you are in pride, it's not pride. It is what it is. It is in that setting that you can fully receive of this world. Where you can taste it, where you can smell it, where you can feel it. And you can fully hear music, appreciate music or see beauty and stuff like that. And that's your food in this world. That's your spiritual food in this world. And you need your senses to receive it. So another pride sitting is it's not wrong. But it depends on what we want to do and what it is we are and what the task is. For instance, if a nurse looks after you, you like her to have some rational knowing, but you also like her to be on the emotional side. It's nice to have a nurse that has empathy and works her emotions a bit on you. That's nice. But then on the other hand, how emotional would you like your brain surgeon to be? Yeah? So again, it is not right or wrong to be on one side or the other. It depends on the task. It is not wrong to always be in the rational knowing. If it serves, it's fine. Do it. And as I said, if the woman needs to look outside of her own knowing, then she needs to stand in humility and say, there's something I need that I do not know, that my knowledge cannot show me the way. But only, as I say, emergency use only. So whether you're going by the rational, purely by the rational mind into your suit, and you're using your emotional energy to do something on the materialistic level, because even then you need the emotional energy with you. You know, if you're standing there and you're with an idea and you're already feeling, well, I can't do that, you know, you're not going to get it done. So even on the materialistic level, you must stand in your suit, ready to do the task. Or again, if you're going onto a level that actually would work a manifestation, yeah, so you need to be on a knowledge that is higher than the five senses. Again, you need to stand in your suit knowing that that is reality. And there is what you're actually doing, the foundation that you are building for your desire to manifest, either on the materialistic way or the way what you might call a miracle. The foundation that you're building is yourself. The foundation that you're building is yourself. It is through you that your desire must travel, one way or the other. Either you do it with your hands or it will manifest, but it needs to travel through you. You are the foundation. You will receive according to what you know you are. So you are the foundation for your desire. And that is what came clear to me today. You know, you're looking outside of yourself and you're trying to manifest something outside of yourself, but it needs to travel through you. You must become the correct foundation. And it is not that you are the same foundation every time. Don't put yourself on one setting and say, well, at this time, I put every other desire through that setting. Because, I say, whether it should be more emotional or more rational, or do you need strength? Do you need compassion and kindness? That is then Gevurah or Chesed. As I say, in Tiferet, the whole thing must be balanced to be the correct thing in your suit, so that you are the correct energy through which your desire travels to become something in this world. You are the foundation. It doesn't matter what desires you have, but you must be the correct foundation for them to get into this world in the correct way, to give birth to something in this world in the correct way. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say this evening. I probably will not post this until the morning, but anyway, I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.